Hello everyone, welcome back to another process video. Today I'm going back to my traveler's notebook project that I'm working on from a local history and photo walk tour I did last summer. And I'm up to my next photos, which are these two of a place that's called Coney Island Cafe in downtown St. Paul. And so I know I have these two photos. This one is 4x4 and that's pretty tight in here. So I think I'm going to have to trim off the edge, which is fine. And I know that this one I'm probably going to place up here simply because I have journaling on the other side of this. So to make sure that doesn't show through in any way, I will probably cover that up by doing that. That's as far as I've gotten. I don't have any papers or anything picked out yet. I do tend to keep a stash of stuff specifically for my traveler's notebook layouts, so I have papers here. I'm also using these to designate each stop on the tour, so this will be stop number 4. So I'm trying to have some consistency by using these cork numbers throughout the photos from this particular photo walk. So because there is some blue in these photos, you can see there's this blue minivan parked out front. Fortunately, I couldn't not have that in the shot. I was trying to figure out, could I work blue in there? And of all things, I found this. This is a piece that came from a Kelly Perky kit, and I have to be honest, since I've had it, I haven't liked this piece of paper. They look like pills to me, you know, little capsules you get, and I just never liked it. But I thought maybe I'll find a use for it at some point and, you know, I can do something with it. Well, I think I'm going to use it here. Now, it's too much to have the photo completely on this. It's way too wild. But if I offset it a little bit like so, or maybe, you know, have it up here and then torn, I think maybe I can find a way to make that work. So I'm going with this one and we'll just see what happens. So I took this piece of paper and I cut it down to 4 inches wide just to make sure that it's going to actually fit in there. That doesn't mean I won't trim it again because I may have to, but I at least want to know that I have the right dimensions, you know, this way for width before I start this. And then I just simply tore it in half so that I can use half on each side of the insert. So I did trim off a little bit more on this piece just so we'd have a bigger space here. And then my plan is to take the photo and kind of just overlap it, maybe like that. I want some of this showing just because if I'm going to have a bold pattern, I might as well use it, but yet still cover up some of it. And then I've got room down here where I can either put my number or I can do my journaling or whatever I want. I haven't figured that out yet, but at least I'm leaving room for myself so that I have options. I did adhere this photo on this side, so that side is set, and I think this is what I'm going to do with the other side, because that way these overlap a little bit. They're kind of touching, you know, a little bit here, the pattern, so it's somewhat consistent across the pages. And then I'm going to drop this down. Because this is a bigger photo, I want to make sure too that it gets more of the attention so that you can see the sign, see what it says, and it's still bringing in some of that blue. I did cut this down so that it is now 3.5 by 4. The 4 was just a little bit too wide, but 3.5 by 4 seems to be perfect. So I have both sides adhered down. I've got this problem with, you know, where it folds. The corners never seem to want to stay down. Does anybody else have that problem with Traveler's Notebook inserts? I know it doesn't have to be permanent forever, so, you know, it's okay. But I would like it if it would just stick down a little better. But I digress. In any case, these are all stuck down here. Now I'm going to do my number 4, and I think I've decided that I'm going to overlap it right here in this corner. I've been doing a thing where I overlap on the photo for each stop when I put the number on, again, just for design consistency. So I do plan to follow that here as well. I decided to put the 4 just overlapping this corner simply because I wanted that overlapping element, as I said, but I also need to have this room for journaling. I want to tell the story of this place because not only is the building cool, but it's kind of an interesting business. It is what it says, you know, Coney Island Cafe. However, the same family has owned it the entire time it's been open. and which has been 70 years, I think. And the woman who's in charge of it now is getting older, and she chooses to only open the cafe when she feels like it. So there is no regular set schedule anymore. So you have to kind of watch for an announcement to know that they're going to be open. And then the line goes down the block. And like she'll just say, I'm open for 4 hours or 5 hours, whatever. And then that's it. The window closes and you're done. Till the next time. So it's kind of an interesting story. And I want to make sure that I can fit that in. I may carry over here if I have to. But I'm thinking maybe I'll just do some stamping or have embellishments up here and leave this for the story section. Since I'm using cork elements with the numbers, I figured out something maybe that I would like to do on the right hand side of this layout, also using cork. So I have these sheets. They just come in a pack like this. I actually bought these on Amazon, and it comes in 3 different styles. I'm just working through this one because I've already used it, as you can see. But my plan is that I'm going to stamp on there. This stamp, it says Hidden Gem, and then I'll punch it out with my circle punch. So I'm going to do that right now. I have stamped this on the cork, and I use Stays-On for that. And now I'm just going to take my circle punch and punch this out. This is a 1 1/4 inch, but you could definitely go smaller. I mean, you'll see this is quite, the difference is quite big, but that's okay. I don't mind it. There we go. Ah, shoot, I do see that it shifted a little when I was punching, so it's not totally even. So I may have to cut this one by hand. Darn it, I was trying to avoid that. Since I don't trust myself to cut a perfect circle outside of that line, I decided, forget it. I'm just going to cut it around the line, keep it easy on myself. It's going to be much smaller than I thought it would be, but you know what? That's okay. To adhere this, I have learned that this is the best to use. I tried glue dots, that did not go well. So now I just use the Tombow multi-glue and it works like a charm. I decided to put that stamped cork element up here, just kind of overlapping the ripped edge just a little bit. I like the way that looks. And then I may do some stamping up here too, just to bring in the black and maybe find some little word stickers or phrases or something. This one is mostly done, I think, because I don't want to mess with anything down here, but I may try to find a washi strip that would work up here. I did find this washi in my stash, and it's mostly black, but it has a very subtle dot pattern on it. I don't know if the camera really will pick that up that well. And I think it's from Stampin' Up. And I've used this a lot. I really like it. I should have bought more than one, dang it. But I think I'm going to overlap a little bit here, and then I'll have to decide, do I want it here or at the bottom on this side? I applied the washi. I kept this one here, and then I decided I liked this one better at the bottom. I think it's just a nicer balance. And then for up top, I think I'm just going to take these letters and spell out cafe, because my journaling will be down here. They'll know what it is, but I just like a little bit of black up here. Then I don't have to stamp. I can just put on some letters and be good to go. So here are my letters up here. I just did it simple, cafe. And other than the journaling, I think that's all I'm going to do here. That paper is so wild. Plus there's a pattern in here that I don't want to add too much more. So here's close up of what I did. And that one is done. Thanks for watching, everybody.